Let's talk ball, baby. Daniel.Jeremiyah's 2026 round 1 NFL mock draft dropped yesterday. A lot of talk and conversation about this mock. People not liking it. F-, worst mock of all time. They wouldn't do that. My team would do this. We don't know a damn thing. It's January. The draft in itself is an inexact science, and every single year we think we know what these teams are going to do. Come April, draft happens, and you're sitting back on night one thinking, damn, I never thought that. I didn't think they would take a running back. Why would they take a receiver? Why would the Falcons take a quarterback when you just paid Kirk Cousins $100 million? That is the NFL. That is the draft. So when we get drafts that differentiate from consensus, that look a little different, makes you feel uncomfortable because you've been conditioned to believe you know what the hell is going to happen picks 1 through 10. You don't. I don't, you don't. So let's go through some different situations and talk through more what it means if the team did do this. What would it signify for players on the current roster? What would it signify for what those teams did in free agency? That is the part of this process that's the fun part. Not mocking the same damn players to the same damn teams every time we do a mock draft. So we're going to talk through it, see what he put. I did not look through every pick. I've seen a few of them, but I ain't looked through every one. We're going to talk about this mock, what it means for those teams. So if you stick around to the end of the video, you find the information actionable and or entertaining, do one thing for your boy. Hit the thumbs up button, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And I did drop a mock here on the channel the other day, so check that out as well. A 2-round mock, dropped that right after the AFC and NFC championship games. Check that out on the channel. But I appreciate y'all being here, giving me some of your time. Let's get into it, baby. Daniel.Jeremiyah, round 1, 2026 mock. Let's go. All right, we got the board pulled up. This is Daniel.Jeremiyah over on NFL.com. I will put a link to this in the description of the video. DJ got so much heat, he went ahead and updated that top 50. The day after he put out the mock, he said, let me get this top 50 out so people will know 11 wide receivers in his top 50. I ain't got enough time today to go through that, but let's run through it. At the 1 spot, Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. No surprise there. He's going to be the number 1 overall pick. The draft really starts at number 2, where he's got the Jets taking Jets.Arvell Reese, edge rusher / linebacker out of Ohio State. People have gone back and forth on Reese. Is he edge? Is he a linebacker? He's an athletic freak. So much talent. Do you take an off-ball linebacker this high? Well, he's an off-ball backer that can actually get after the quarterback. So if he can be developed with Aaron Glenn, Jets need defense. There you go. Jets.Arvell Reese at 2. In my mock, I did have them taking, in my opinion, the best player in this class, Caleb Downs, safety out of the Ohio State. Arizona at 3. I also had them taking a lineman. I had them taking an offensive lineman. We don't know who the coach is going to be at this point. You know, Arizona, they could go Jeremiyah Love, but a running back at 3 when your team ain't even close to competing, probably suboptimal. They don't need a quarterback, or they do, but they're not going to get one here at 3. It's a tough spot for Arizona to be in. Absolutely can see them moving back if a team spots a D lineman or an edge rusher or somebody they want to come up for. Arizona at 3. In this scenario, they'll go Spencer Fano, tackle out of Utah. At number 4, the Tennessee Titans go Francis Mauigoa at 4 to Tennessee. I started off very similar, right? Very similar fashion with offensive linemen coming off of the board early. Francis Mauigoa, a lot of people's top-rated tackle in this class. Right tackle, can he kick in the guard? What's he going to do? Some people think he's a better guard. Ultimately, the decision to protect Cam Ward, I think it greatly outweighs that of a damn receiver right here. I know people, I want Jordyn Tyson, not at 4. I like Tyson. I scouted every one of his targets from this past season. Very good wide receiver, but at 4, I don't know if I would want to do that. I would focus on the trenches, whether that be the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball. Pair Cam Ward up with his running mate back at Miami, Francis Mauigoa, protecting the young quarterback who just got an OC upgrade today with Brian Daboll. I like what Salah's doing there. They go O-tackle for Cam Ward at 4. At 5, this was the first pick I saw. It was the first one. And people told me 2 mocks ago I was crazy for having the Vikings to trade up to get this player. And here he is, number 5 overall. The Giants take Mansoor Delane, cornerback out of LSU. So this is the first big-time deviation from the things that we consistently have seen, which is the easy way. A wide receiver at 5. Neighbors, they need another guy for Jackson Dart. it doesn't feel like the type of class where these receivers are worthy of being top 5 picks. They just don't. Anything after that, 7, 8, 9, 10, cool, but 3, 4, 5. Daniel Jeremiah says Mansoor Delane, #1 cornerback in the draft with the Giants. A lot of Giants fans upset about this pick, but I'm not gonna knock it. You can knock it all you want, but thinking that we know and they're 100% gonna take a receiver, you better have some other options ready, Giants fans. At 6, the Cleveland Browns still waiting on their head coach. Go David Bailey, edge rusher out of Texas Tech. No qualm there. I actually had the Cleveland Browns in my mock the other day, taking Rueben Bain to pair on the other side with Myles Garrett. People hated that. Why would they do that? They would never do that. They drafted Mason Graham. Daniel Jeremiah did the same damn thing with a different player. David Bailey, 6th overall to the Cleveland Browns. And that's a team that currently right now still does not have a head coach. So continue to solidify the positions that can make you stronger. Myles Garrett, David Bailey, Mason Graham. I love the D-line. O-line with Malinois and Spencer Fano off of the board probably takes them out of consideration right here at pick 6. For Cleveland, at 7, the Commanders are on the board. This is a pick. A lot of Cowboys fans, you see I'm wearing the hat. They say, hey, that's going to be our pick, no doubt about it. I don't know if he's going to be there at damn 12. Sonny Styles out of Ohio State. The Washington Commanders, they fade the running back noise. We're not going edge rusher. We're going Sonny Styles, outstanding linebacker from Ohio State, to come in here with Dan Quinn and really kind of get this thing going defensively. And you see Jeremiah said, reminds him of Fred Warner. And you've got the former 49ers GM Adam Peters there. Bobby Wagner's old, great season from B-Wags, but he's 35, headed for free agency. I don't know if Sonny Styles, especially after the combine, if he's even going to be around for Dallas to take. I do think he is in line to be a top 10 pick come April. At pick 8, the New Orleans Saints go Jeremiah Love. Solid pick. They need a running back. I love his dual threat ability. You got a young quarterback, Kellen Moore, dealt with quarterbacks in the past. I think Tyler Shuck getting this type of weapon in an offense with Chris Olave and Juwan Johnson would be a plus for New Orleans. So Saints get that splash running back here at pick 8. And I don't want to say that they're 100% ready for a running back, but there's some people that think they can go from like worst to first in the division. So let's see if the Saints can continue that positive momentum they were building at the end of the season with Jeremiah Love. At 9, absolutely love this pick. Would be a home run selection. Kansas City Chiefs take Rueben Bain. Pair him up next to Chris Jones. You've got Spags on defense calling stuff. Love it. You get him to learn from Chris Jones. You got Karlaftis there as well. Rueben Bain to Kansas City would be a home run pick. That is a smash pick, smash spot. Love it. At 10, here we go. Jermon McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee, injured this year, ACL tear. We know the Bengals need defense. Caleb Downs would be a dream. And if I'm not mistaken, Caleb Downs is still not off the board. The best player in the class still on the board. I think it would be a hard for Cincinnati. Hell, Kansas City. I know their safety spot is probably all right, but the last time the Chiefs took a round 1 safety, Eric Berry was pretty damn good, and Caleb Downs is in that same type of mold. I think Cincinnati would be crazy to pass on Caleb Downs right here, as talented as Jermon McCoy may be, and the Dolphins run the card up to the board. The Cowboys thought they were going to get a gift from the NFL draft gods, and then Miami swoops in and says, not so fast. Caleb Downs, come on. Jeff Hafley there, defensive coordinator. You see what he's been able to do with that defense out there in Green Bay. Xavier McKinney, interceptions galore. Now you get Caleb Downs. Love the pick. Great fit. They need secondary help. Dolphins just break the Dallas Cowboys heart. Dallas would have to trade up. If Caleb Downs is falling like that for real, you got to move up. I think there'd be multiple teams saying, hey, let me get Caleb Downs. This is the lowest I've seen Downs drafted yet. Miami, Caleb Downs at 11. The Cowboys on the clock at 12, and they are not happy about this pick. And Cowboys Nation, Colton Hood, who's out there in the Senior Bowl right now working to improve his draft stock. Jeremiah says, I expect him to take edge in round 1. See pick 20. He's got to qualify it. Hey, I gotta let y'all know we are gonna go edge, but right now we're gonna go Colton Hood, cornerback out of Tennessee. A lot of people thought he would go back to school. He declares 12 feels rich. 12 feels rich. 12 feels a little pricey for Colton Hood right now. I'd rather move back and then see what else we can do here as a Cowboys fan. But Colton Hood goes to Dallas at 12-13. This would be the pick that would break fantasy football. People would love it. Makai Lemon getting to play next to Puka Nacua. Devontae Adams already said, hey, I'm retiring as a damn Ram. I know it was a bad loss for us this weekend, no Super Bowl berth. But you put Makai Lemon here, they need a good number 3. And if Devontae Adams, who's been banged up this year, Puka Nacua gets banged up a lot. He's a great receiver, but he gets banged up. Lemon and Puka down the line would be phenomenal. This would be a great fit, scheme fit. Love it. Puka, let him do his thing. Let Lemon learn. Great pick right here for the Rams at 13. And this was the pick that they got from the Falcons. At 14, love it. Baltimore needs to upgrade their offensive line. They're probably going to lose Tyler Linderbaum. And because he's a free agent. So if they don't bring him back, he's going to go get the bag somewhere else. Daniel Falele, not very good at that left guard spot. Ronnie Stanley getting older. You've got to improve your offensive front. Jesse Mentner, let's go get the trenches, attack them. Vega Ioane is a nasty player. So if Mentner's defense and that kind of mentality carries over, I think Vega would be a really good pick for the Baltimore Ravens. At 15, Cassius Howell, edge rusher out of Texas A&M, goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Love him. Dude plays, it says right here, 100 miles per hour, 100%. He is going balls to the wall every time. Not the biggest guy. I think he measures about 6'2", 240 something. So going to have to be creative with how you deploy him. But Cassius Howell down there in Tampa Bay, they need defense. There you go. At 16, the Jets go Carnell Tate. I scouted every rep. I looked at every target. I don't know how this isn't the top dog in the wide receiver room here in 2026. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. Fluid down the field, excellent at the catch point, sideline awareness, number 1 in the class. Carnell Tate is incredible. Now you're pairing him up in New York with Garrett Wilson, fellow Buckeye. We don't know who's playing quarterback. I don't like it, right? I don't like it, but let's see who the quarterback is. The Jets need some more juice and skill position players anyway. They start off with Jets.Arvell Reese, and then they stay with Ohio State, and they go Carnell Tate at 16. Pick 17, the Lions are on the clock, and they go Akheem Mesidor, edge rusher out of Miami. The hell with the age. We're not worried about how old he's going to be in 5 years from now. Next couple of years, you pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson. We got a nasty 1-2 punch off the edge. I like the pick. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren goes 18th overall to the Minnesota Vikings. This is a player that I just turned the tape on today. I mocked Minnesota taking Dillon Thieneman out of Oregon here, and my mock at 18. This dude can hit. He's not playing any games. He is explosive playmaking ability. I'm not going as far to say Nick Eamon-Warry. I ain't going that far. But Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is a really good pick, and you need a replacement for Harrison Smith, so I like it. At 19, the third wide receiver off the board, the Carolina Panthers take Jordyn Tyson. I don't know here. Tetairoa McMillan, great. Jalen Coker, probably serviceable enough to play that wide receiver 2-3 role. But at 19, with so many other needs for the Panthers and so many players still on the board, I'm not sure about this fit in Carolina with McMillan. When you're trying to develop your young wide receiver McMillan, who profiles much more like a wide receiver 1 in this offense than Tyson, bringing him in to kind of, are you signifying right away that this isn't a 1 and he's going to be a high-end 2 for us? I think they could go a couple of different directions. I know receiver and running backs are the sexy spots, but here at 19, I don't know about Tyson to Carolina. I get it. You got to replace Leggett. You got to figure some other stuff out, but do that in round 2. The receiver class is deep. You can get some other guys that complement McMillan more than the skill set of Tyson, and I just don't like this one. This is one. Maybe Kenyon Sadiq. I know they need tight end. Could they have gone linebacker? Could they have gone edge rusher at this spot? Somebody to replace the production from Brian Burns. Just not a big fan of Tyson to Carolina in this one. Pick 20. I am not on board with Keldric Faulk with Dallas. This is, DJ says it's a tough evaluation. I don't think it's that tough. It doesn't play with the type of urgency at 6'6", like 285. I don't think he's that bendy of an edge rusher. Feels more like a run grade guy. And if Greg Ellis is a name that pops to mind. If he can develop into Greg Ellis, and coming out of North Carolina, he is no Greg Ellis, and Greg Ellis was a great player for Dallas, that would be a huge win, but just not the type of dynamic edge rusher I would be targeting here at 20 with Dallas. Do not like the draft haul of Colton Hood and Keldric Faulk. No, thank you. which means that's what's going to happen. At 21, Pittsburgh Steelers, Denzel Boston, love him. Big playmaker. Dad was in the league. NFL pedigree, 6'4", 210, vertical threat, better after the catch than advertised. And he gives you crazy a 6'4", 210 pound players returning punts, but Denzel Boston did just that. He's got special teams ability. It's a really good downfield vertical playmaker. My question is, how does he fit with DK Metcalf? Because they're literally kind of in the same mold, Denzel Boston and DK. Mike McCarthy's the head coach. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out in Pittsburgh if this were to happen this way. At 22, he's tearing up the Senior Bowl right now. Big Lee Hunter. I love this pick. Love this pick from the Chargers. You may not have heard of this player. Big Lee Hunter out there dominate. You're talking about a big boy that can run. Good pick right here. Good pick by the Chargers. Lee Hunter is a damn good defensive line prospect, and I do think when it's all said and done, he'll be a first-round pick, like this one right here by LA. At 23. Okay, so editor's note, after publishing this, T.R. Tart agreed to terms, 3-year extension. So this was a replacement for Tart. I guess that would change the math here. If Tart's there and they're like, look, we don't need to attack interior D-line, another position definitely in play. But I do like Lee Hunter, and that's what he has in the mock. 23, great fit. There's nothing else to say. Avieon Terrell to the Philadelphia Eagles, great fit. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, and then you get another turnover-causing, playmaking defensive back to add to this defense. Awesome. Great pick by Howie Roseman in the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they can't find nobody to call offensive plays. At 24, Cleveland takes a swing. Wild swing here by Cleveland. Caden Proctor. He's 6'6", 350 pounds. You're just like, figure it out, right? The Browns' offensive line, issues last year, injuries all across the board. You got to have starters. You got to have utility players. Earlier in the draft, who did the Browns take? Who did the Browns take in this one? I think they went David Bailey. Where the Browns go early in this mock? David Bailey. So they go trenches. Anytime team attacks the trenches, I know it's not sexy. It's not the Madden players. It's not the fantasy players. But man, the trenches just get it done. You get big boys that can do their job inside. It makes life easier for Pro Bowl quarterback Shedeur Sanders. And I am joking, not joking about him making the Pro Bowl or being named as an alternate. But whomever's playing quarterback for Cleveland and whoever's coaching this team, they're going to need protection up front. Caden Proctor issues and provides that. 25, you make me feel better, Daniel Jeremiah. People said I was crazy for having Dillon Thieneman inside the first round. And here you go. The Chicago Bears get the big playmaking safety. He is good. Thieneman is very good. Kevin Byard, incredible season this year for Byard. But we'll see what his safety market is. Jaquan Brisker, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, contracts expiring. Thieneman is very good. So I like this pick for Chicago. Normally it's been, D-line, Caden Proctor. I had Peter Woods falling there. Peter Woods still has not been taken. Bears fans, Peter Woods is still there. I mocked him if you didn't check it out. GQ does the work. I'm not out here just haphazardly throwing shit around. I'm doing the work. Check out the mock. I had Peter Woods falling to Chicago, and he's falling here now, but they go Dillon Thieneman. At 26, Buffalo, who just hired Joe Brady as the head coach, they go C.J. Allen, linebacker. We know defense is position of need. Their defense was good down the stretch. They also need receiver, and there are some receivers still on the board, but they opt for linebacker C.J. Allen out of Georgia. 27, home run pick. Love the pick by the San Francisco 49ers going Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon. Juszczyk, Kittle. Juszczyk getting older. George Kittle's probably going to miss the season with the torn Achilles. You need to start grooming some other playmakers. And Brock Purdy's just his propensity to throw the ball to the tight end position. You saw Jake Tonjes getting targeted. Kittle, when he's on the field, he's great. Get Brock Purdy the weapons in which he feels comfortable throwing to. Kenyon Sadiq, this would be a great spot. This would be a fantastic spot here in San Fran at 27. At 28, Houston's on the clock. I'm glad we didn't see a quarterback there. Houston Texans fans a little disappointed with C.J. Stroud right now. They go Monroe Freeling, O-tackle out of Georgia. I believe I had Freeling going in round 1 in my mock a little bit later. I think he went to the Rams at 29. Houston's got to protect. They've got to protect C.J. Stroud. Ariante Ursary out of Minnesota, very good pick last year. Let's fix the right side of that offensive line with Monroe Freeling and give C.J. Stroud an opportunity back there to get the ball to his playmakers. At 29, I had the Rams taking a damn tackle. It was a different tackle. Blake Miller out of Clemson. This is a player I talked about early, like Blake Miller. First time I've seen him inside of the top 32, but the Rams opt for offensive line help here. I'm just not in agreement with this draft. They went Makai Lemon, and then they go Blake Miller. When you look at that team, man, they need defense. They need secondary help in the worst way. It's Swiss cheese back there. Sam Darnold, 300-something yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. They got to improve the defense, and they spent 2 picks in round 1 on offense. They went O-tackle, which I get it. You may need that, and they went wide receiver. And I know you want to add somebody else. It sounds good, but you don't need it with Puka and Devontae Adams in the building. You need defensive help, and they did not address that here in round 1. Not a fan of what the Rams did. Has nothing to do with the 2 players, but I think they need to address defense. At pick 30, the Denver Broncos, they do take the falling knife. That is Peter Woods. No way Peter Woods is falling this low. No way Peter Woods is falling this low. DJ says folks around the league are split on his evaluation. Some don't view him as a first, but he's got the quickness to be one of the best interior pass rushers of your interior D tackles in this class. So Denver takes the swing, and I do trust, even though Jim Leonard probably won't be there, Sean Payton to get the most out of his players. New England at 31, love the pick. They go protect their young quarterback Drake May with Caleb Lomu, offensive tackle out of Utah. You're pairing him up with Will Campbell on the other side. Caleb can play that right tackle spot. Love it. Protect Drake May. They're in the damn Super Bowl. Keep your third-year quarterback upright in 2026. And finally, at 32, the Seattle Seahawks add strength on strength with Reek Ruling, Kobe Bryant, and Josh Jobe potentially gone because of free agency. You've got Witherspoon there. You got to replenish that CB pool. Brandon Cisse out of Carolina, South Carolina, the pick for the Seattle Seahawks. So right off the rip, trying to think of some names that we've talked about that weren't included. Caden McDonald, D tackle out of Ohio State, not in the first round of this box. So interesting to not see him there. Thinking about any DBs that we did not see or haven't seen in this mock that are common picks. Let's see if we can look at that top 50 real quick as we go through here from Jeremiah. I'm not sure how it's going to be formatted. Reese, we got Styles, Bailey, he's got Makai Lemon, 7th overall, Mansoor Delane, Carnell Tate, 9th overall, Caleb Downs is 10th overall player on his big board. So there goes his top 10 guys right here. Prospects 1.0, top 10 guys. You got Reese, you got Ruben Bain, Makai Lemon, 7th overall. Caleb Downs, we got Vega Ioane here, Spencer Fano, Francis Mauigoa, O-line. McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee, 14th. We've got Tyson at 15. So we've got 3 receivers inside his top 15. Both Tennessee corners inside the top 20. Right here with Colton Hood, Cassius Howell, edge rusher at 17. Akheem Mesidor, 18. McNeil-Warren at 19. And then we've got Denzel Boston. You got 4 receivers inside his top 20. And then a tight end at 21 in Sadiq. We'll go 25. Allen at 22. Blake Miller, 23. Monroe Freeling, 24. And then he's got Dillon Thieneman at 25. We talked about Thieneman at 25. I see Lee Hunter down there at 26. So appreciate y'all pulling up for this mock. Check out Daniel Jeremiah's work, mock, big board, all that stuff. Link is in the description of the video. If you stuck around to the end of the video and you enjoyed the ball talk conversation, just looking through what this would mean and how different this mock was, I don't hate it. It was definitely some positions that we are not accustomed to seeing these players take or these players land on throughout these mock exercises, whether that be me or other people. But I don't hate the spots. I do not hate the spots, and I really do appreciate when a draft analyst stretches and gives us something a little bit different. Again, preface this thing by none of us know anything. It's late January. The draft isn't until late April. So many things are going to change. So why keep mocking the same player in the same spot every single time? Stretch the thinking. What if the team did this? What would it signify? And just understand that when the draft comes, there are going to be things that we never saw or never talked about that happen, and we're scratching our head like, how the hell? So much love. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Subscribe to the channel. Show some love. Hit the thumbs up button and check out everything we do. I'm out of this thing. Until next time, peace.